As you might have seen in my last video, I've converted this Mad Catz TE1 to a button box layout. However, the more I use it, the more pain points arise from its 2009 origins. So in this video, we're going to do something about that. I'll have the links to all parts used in the description, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions in the comments or if you DM me on Instagram or Twitter. Indulge me for a moment to summarize my grievances with the original TE1. Firstly, this controller was built for use with Xbox 360, which in the modern day means it works just fine on PC, but nothing else. Second, although it was convenient in 2009 to have a built-in cable door, we have found over time that these doors will snap easily and there aren't any replacements readily available. I only found a replacement due to the kindness of a stranger on Reddit. So if your cable door breaks and you can't find a replacement, you're pretty much resigned to just balling up the cable wherever you go. And speaking of cable, there is quite a lot. Lastly, there aren't enough buttons on the original TE1 to support modern consoles. At the time the TE1 was originally built, all you needed for higher console functions was start and select. However, if you want to do anything modern with your TE1, you might need more buttons available to map to things like home, share, etc. The good news, and the purpose of this video, is that we can address all three grievances at the same time with a short order of parts and some know-how. The solution for our first issue is to install a Brook's Universal Fighting Board, or UFB, so that we can be ready for any console we might encounter. The solution to our second issue of the long unwieldy cable is to install a Nutric style USB-C adapter so that we can just bring a cable with us and plug it in whenever we're ready. The solution to our third issue of not having enough buttons for modern consoles is to use a Buttercade cable door to add slots for more buttons that we can wire into our Brook's UFB. It not only provides a handy spot for our USB-C connection, but also enough button holes for our other buttons. And I did all this with no further cutting or drilling. Yes, you have to cut the interior plastic out for the button box mod, but you don't technically have to cut anything else to add UFB, Nutric, or Buttercade door. I've seen posts online that were saying to cut this piece off of the old cable box so that you can use the screw post on it, but once I got my stick open, I realized that this step is more of a recommendation. After all, it's my stick and I say we're running with 5 screws instead of 6 now. The stick is 13 years old and it came to me with missing screws already, so if it's missing one more screw, it ain't gonna fall apart. I'll let you know if it does. The other corner I cut on this mod is literally this corner in the top left. Where the turbo panel used to be on the original specification is now just a hole because I ordered the parts for my button box conversion before I knew I was doing these further modifications. So of course I got the panel that had the hole pre-cut for the turbo panel, which is of course no longer there because we've swapped to the UFB. I could have propped the turbo panel in place just to fill the hole, but I didn't see the point in having non-functional buttons on the face of my stick. If I had known I was doing these further modifications in the first place, I would have just bought the same panel from all fight sticks but with the no turbo option instead, meaning no turbo panel hole pre-drilled, just flat metal. I've added the link to the description, which I might still get anyway and swap it out later. And so now that the job is done, I don't think I'll have to make any further adjustments to this stick anytime soon that isn't purely cosmetic, like replacing the panel for the no turbo variant, or adding artwork, or replacing some buttons. I've tested out the stick playing my favorite puzzle game, Tetris Effect Connected, and I'm already crushing PBs. Of course, that's more thanks to the button box layout, but the point is that with the UFB and Type-C connector, I have more ways to play. And throwing a USB-C cable on is, to me, so much easier than unraveling that long unwieldy cable that I'm actually jumping in for shorter rounds and playing more often in general and getting better all the time. It makes me feel good about spending time and money on modifying a stick that's old but gold rather than just buying brand new. In the end, I'd say it was worth it just to have the experience of customizing my stick. Now that I've had the experience, I'll have a lot better idea of what I'm looking for if I ever decide to get a different controller. All in all, I have exactly what I need now, even if it's missing a few screws. But who isn't? Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment below or DM me on Instagram or Twitter. Peace!